Vice President Mike Pence in the Carolinas today. He was in Charlotte for a ribbon cutting at the Billy Graham Library, but he was also there for a book signing for his new autobiography. Now, he also took some time to answer our questions, and the big topic on so many minds right now are his intentions for 2024 and if he plans to run for president. Vice President, I think we heard Mr. Kim mention it as well. I think one of the biggest questions a lot of people have on their minds, especially today, who'll be buying your book, asking for a signature. Have you gotten any closer to a decision on 2024?
Well, first, let me just say what a joy it is to be back at the Billy Graham Library for such a special occasion, to see this this hall named after another Billy, who literally has impacted the lives of tens of millions of people. But as he was the first to say, his life, his ministry has all proceeded out of his association with Billy Graham at that historic crusade in Korea. And so to be able to be here with him, who I've seen firsthand in my travels to South Korea, what he would not say, he would only boast in his faith in Jesus Christ, but he is literally one of the most respected figures, not just in South Korea, but in the Asia Pacific. But throughout it all, he's given glory to God, and so I'm here for a book signing later at the Billy Graham Library. I'm very grateful to Franklin Graham and the Graham family for welcoming us for that. But when I heard there was a dedication of the Billy Kim Hall, I came early and was anxious to be here. And I will tell you, we've been very humbled by the response to our book entitled So Help Me God around the country over the last month. It was a privilege for me to be able to write my story, which is a story of a boy growing up in a small town in Indiana, the son of a Korean War combat veteran, a first-generation Irish American, and a little boy who dreamed of someday representing his hometown in the Congress of the United States. I tell about my own decision to put my faith in Jesus Christ, meeting the girl of my dreams, and our journey that would take us until my 40th year to be elected to the Congress of the United States. But I hope as people read So Help Me God that they'll sense our gratitude to God, to our family, and to the people of Indiana and the people of this country that have given us the privilege to serve. And as we think about the future, we're reflecting on those 20 years of service. I'm deeply concerned about the state of the country today. Families struggling under the weight of inflation at a 40-year high, energy prices through the roof, a crisis at our southern border, and seemingly an endless assault on the liberties of the American people, including religious liberty. And so we are going to stay in the fight for the values that we have always advanced throughout our career. But this coming Christmas, we'll be together for the first time in 3 years, and my family and I are going to take time to celebrate a very precious Christmas together. We're going to talk, we're going to discern, we're going to continue to listen to the American people, and I promise to keep you posted here in North Carolina.
Now, after Mr. Pence's comments on his future intentions, he was also asked about his views on the recent midterm elections. Many Republicans expected better outcomes, and while the party did take over the House, he says there's a reason why many Senate candidates didn't do as well.
Well, I traveled to 35 states over the last 2 years. I campaigned with many men and women for the House, the Senate, and for governorships around the country, and I really have come to two conclusions about the 2022 midterm elections, and that is that Republican candidates that were focused on the future, that were focused on those challenges that American families are facing every day in this economy and in their homes and in the streets of our major cities. The candidates that focused on those challenges did quite well. People that spoke to the concerns of the American people and offered positive solutions based on the principles we advanced during the Trump-Pence administration. But candidates that were focused on the past, candidates that were focused on relitigating the last election did not do well. It's always been axiomatic to me that elections are always about the future. And as we go forward as a party, I'm very confident that we're going to produce leadership at every level that's focused on the challenges the American people are facing and focused on the future. One of the things we proved in the Trump-Pence years was that when you put conservative principles into practice, America is stronger, more prosperous, our liberties are more secure. We even laid a foundation to win America a new beginning for the sanctity of life earlier this year. But it'll take renewed leadership, and I believe that's coming. Leadership focused on the future and grounded in timeless conservative principles.
How much does that past that you mentioned have to do with the former President Donald Trump?
Well, I would say he was certainly one of the voices in our party that was looking to the past and looking to the last election, but he was hardly alone. And when I look around the country, literally here in North Carolina and around America, there really was a common denominator that the candidates who were offering a vision for the future, grounded in time-honored and proven conservative principles, did very well. But candidates that were looking in the rearview mirror did not fare as well. And I think it's emblematic of the fact that the American people are struggling, and they're looking for leaders that are focused on the issues today. It's not to discount the importance of election integrity. I've been pleased to see states around the country enact common sense reforms to ensure and protect the integrity of the vote in states around the country. We'll continue to support those efforts. But at the end of the day, I really do believe in the days ahead, our party is going to choose a standard bearer and choose leaders at every level that are focused on the issues that are impacting American families and focused on the future.
Now, coming up tonight at 10 o'clock, we asked Franklin Graham about his reaction to former President Donald Trump's announcement to run again and hear what he had to say about what he hopes Mr. Pence does in the future.